what do you think about influencers and celebrities that supported FTX and SBF? Should they be punished?
Yeah, I think they should take a huge reputational hit. I mean, I think they should be embarrassed. I think they should be ashamed of themselves.
But it was really hard to know. Sorry to interrupt. For them to know, like for example, I think about this a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, who do I? Because I don't investigate. Like sponsored by Athletic Greens. Okay, it's a nutritional drink. Should I investigate them deeply? I don't know. You just kind of use reputational, like it seems to work for me. Should I like
I think it
investigate
really
them
depends
deeply?
on. I think your credibility hit will depend on what domain you're an expert in. If you're sponsored by a robotics company and you're an expert in robotics, if
Sure.
that company turns out to be a disaster and fraud, then you should have looked more deeply. We're talking mostly about, like, I hold Tom Brady a lot less accountable than financial advisors, financial influencers, because that is their world of expertise. And you treat their recommendation differently, proportionally to what you think their expertise is. So in some ways, I don't actually think Tom Brady, I'm sure he reached a lot of people. I personally didn't feel at all moved by his recommendation because it's just money. But when you hear somebody who should be an expert in that thing endorse a product in that space, you hold that opinion to a higher standard. And when they're completely cataclysmically wrong, it's going to be a different level of accountability. And I think rightfully so. When Jim Cramer was saying Bear Stearns is fine, he made that terrible call with Bear Stearns in 2008. He was rightfully reamed for all of that, even though it could be considered that, like, well, did he have all the information? Maybe not. But he's a financial advisor. He does this for a living. If you go on and you make a big call and you turn out to be wrong and people lose tons of money, you are going to take a hit, and I think rightfully so. But no, I don't think these people should go to jail or anything like that.
No, but it's such a complicated thing. I mean, I just feel it personally myself. I get it, but you still feel the burden of the fact that your opinion has influence. I know it shouldn't. I know Tom Brady's opinion on financial investment should not have influence, but
Right.
it does.
Right.
That's just the reality of it.
Right.
That's a real burden. I didn't know anything about SBF or FTX. It wasn't on my radar at all. But I could have seen myself like taking them on as a sponsor. I've seen a lot of people I respect, Sam Harris and others, like talk with SBF, like he's doing good for the world. So I could see myself being hoodwinked, having not
Yep.
done research. And the same thing, it makes me wonder. Like I don't want to become cynical, man, but it makes you wonder
Sure.
who are the people in your life you trust that are like that could be the next SBF or worse, big powerful leaders, Hitler and all that kind of stuff. To what degree do you want to investigate? Do you want to hold their feet to the fire, see through their bullshit, call them on their bullshit, and also as a friend, if you happen to be friends or have a connection, how to help them not slip into the land of fraud. I don't know. All of it is just overwhelming.
Yeah,
This is,
I mean, we should be clear. Like, finance is sort of a special space where you're talking about people's money. You're not talking about whether someone takes a bad supplement or like a supplement that is just they're $50 out, right? I think the scale of harm
yeah.
and therefore responsibility escalates depending on what field you're in. Just like I wouldn't hold Tom Brady as, like, if he gives a bad football opinion, right? And he should have known better. That is a different scale of harm than a doctor giving bad advice, right? Like like he tells you a pill works and the pill kills you or something like that. There's just different levels of accountability depending on the field you're in, and you have to be aware of it. Finance is you have to be extremely conservative if you're going to give financial advice because you're playing with people's lives and you cannot play with them haphazardly. You cannot gamble with them. You cannot play with them on a bet because you're getting paid a lot of money. It's just the nature of the space. And so with the space comes the responsibility and the accountability. And I don't think you can get around that.